I'm the scat man. I'm the scat man.
Welcome to NHL Puck Props presented by Sports Interaction with 14-year NHL vet Carlo Colaiacovo. Sports Interaction has you covered for all these picks. Download the Sports Interaction app. Let's go. Hockey day. 4 games still. We're running out of these 4-game slates. How sick and tired are you of talking about the Leafs? Honestly.
I'm not sick and tired of talking about the Leafs. I'm sick and tired about talking about the same things about the Leafs. It's different. I can't. This has to end tonight. I cannot tee up a game 7 of the same storylines. I just can't.
At least you're not on the air on Saturday, but
could
you imagine? Could you imagine? Welcome to everybody there in the chat. Good to see the pumpers pumping early in the morning. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Do that thing now. You're here. That's what you pay. That's what we do. That's your currency. Let's go through a little review before we get to our 4 games. Washington shows you how it's done, right? Early goals.
Your early goals, put it away early.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Is Washington a better roster than Toronto?
No.
Weird, huh? Weird how that works.
Weird.
Just do it. Yeah. Get it done. I wish I had some great knowledge about that series, but now we're going to get Carolina, Washington, which is
But remember when we previewed that series, we said Logan Thompson is the difference maker in that series? Clearly he was for Washington.
Yeah. Was talking about secondary scoring for Montreal. Didn't even get the primary scoring yesterday.
Yeah.
Straight kind of shut out in that spot. Did get a greasy Connor McMichael point on the empty netter.
You love those greasy empty netter points.
That's 2 from him. He's a greasy one. I think there's an edge, and I'm very good at giving them away. Finding out just who gets those, who goes over the boards when you're up a goal in the 3rd period, right? Ovi's not going over the boards when they're down 1, maybe 2, but not down 1. There's guys coaches trust, and finding out who those guys are, and we're starting to see like the Connor McMichael is starting to get a lot of ice time with that empty net. So put that into your handicap in terms of points. Florida is a real problem. I mean, you're like, okay, let's worry about that first line, second line. All of a sudden, the list of Ryan and Lundell, Marchand line goes off.
Good luck with the Florida Panthers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I know.
Up and down the roster, there's nothing. Coaching, check. Goaltending, check. Defensive depth, check. Even without Ekblad, they're fine.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. I don't even know who's on the 4th line. Like it's Boakfist.
Does it matter?
No, you can just, but when you can run 3 lines at like 8 minutes to 9 minutes each, like evenly.
Yeah.
It's like a house league team where everybody gets even ice time.
Yeah. They certainly proved a lot of doubters wrong that had, some concerns about this team coming into the playoffs. And that's a team that just knows how to flip the switch, eh?
Nuts.
All right.
Winnipeg series going 7.
It's going 7.
Yes.
That's going 7.
Hellie's still not great. Like wasn't sold by the Hellebuck performance in that game. He got goal support, but could be some issues with Mark Scheifele. And that's not a team that has a lot of depth at center.
I know. That's a real concern, him leaving the game yesterday after those 2 big hits. We'll see how they recover from this, but St. Louis having won 15 in a row at home, the numbers of Hellebuck, the injuries on Winnipeg, it just seems like this is destined for 7.
Yep. Agree with you there. We'll probably look at St. Louis money line tomorrow. Let's get to it. Toronto, Ottawa. Please don't do this to us. Ottawa, -120 home favorite. Over under sitting at 5. My play, under 5.5, -1.
I like that too.
These are the 2 worst teams in expected goals for at 5-on-5 in the playoffs. And you're like, wow, I forget who was on your show this morning talking about it. You're like, yeah, they outplayed him in game 1, and which was my take too. And he's like, yeah, but they scored 3 power play goals.
Yeah. Johnny.
It's Johnny. It was, yeah. But like in that sense, okay, maybe at 5-on-5, Toronto really hasn't done much. And that's their MO though. That's what Craig Berube wants with this team.
Yeah.
Play tight defense, win close games. but it's just going to be even tighter here in Game 6 with the sticks being held a little tighter, no?
Yeah, I've been saying it since yesterday. I say the first goal of this game is going to be so crucial, and the first goal of this game could mean that determines the winner of this game.
Yep. Now, taking you back 2013, you're facing the Chicago Blackhawks, absolutely gauntlet juggernaut, one of the best rostered teams in hockey history.
Mm-hmm.
You guys get up 3-1. You lose the first game, you win the next 3. You lose game 5, 4-1. Going into game 6. First off, going into game 6, I want to know how you guys were feeling in the locker room. I don't really care what Babs was saying, but I mean, on the player side, how were you feeling? And how much of a favorite was Chicago in that series?
Well, they were a big time favorite. I think they were 3 or 4 to 1 favorite in that series. So we win game 4. We're up 3-1 this series, and we're like, okay, we got these guys. There's that video highlight of Seabrook going into the penalty box and trying to console Jonathan Toews because we were just frustrating the hell out of their top players. And I think we went into game 5 a little bit too casual because it almost felt like, if we don't win this one, we've got 2 more games to win it. And in game 6, we're going to win it for sure. Well, the mistake we made doing that and having that type of mentality is in game 5, we let all their top players wake up. I think Sharp had 2 points, Taves had 3, Kane had 3. All these guys woke up on the stat sheet. I know it was a 4-1 game, but you could kind of feel like they got a little bit of their mojo back. And then we went into game 6. We had a 2-1 lead going into the third period, and we felt really good about it. We scored the first goal of the game, felt really good about ourselves. And then within 3 minutes of the third period, we gave up an early goal that tied it. And then shortly thereafter, we gave up the eventual leading, or the Chicago leading goal, the go-ahead goal. And it was 4-0. It was 2 on us. Fans are on their feet. We're looking at a 4-2 series win. Within 3 minutes, it was 3-2. And we're like, what the hell just happened? And then we're trying to chase the game. And you talked to me about the penalty shot that Frolik got, which I don't understand how it was a penalty shot. Guy got a shot off, which I couldn't understand how they called it a penalty shot when they got a shot off. They score to make it 4-2. We try to make a late push, not enough. And then we get to game 7. It's like, okay, we're here. We weren't supposed to be here. Let's go out and play a good road game. We did. They scored the first goal. We didn't let it unravel us. We find a way to tie it. We should have won it in the third period with all the chances that we got. And then in overtime, they get a shot that bounces in off our defenseman over Howard into the net. And I just knew after them coming back from that, they'd win the cup. So
there are plenty of parallels to the Leafs in this situation, right? Like you can see them, but
game 5.
If this does go to game 7, you can throw everything out the window in terms of they haven't lost this many games in a row. Like it's a standalone game that doesn't have any other factors within it. Correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It has to be a standalone game. You can't look at how you got here, right? It's one game. Like at the end of the day, regardless of how you got here, up 3-0, lose the next 2, win 1, lose 1, win 1. You're here. You're in game 6. You have a 3-2 series lead. You got to find a way to win the game. And if you're Ottawa, you're trying to use the momentum of the win last game and maybe get the home crowd and try to get that first goal and really make the hill that much harder to climb for the Leafs. So I do think it's going to be a tight game. You have the under here, 5.5. These teams feel comfortable playing low event hockey. And it just feels like mistakes are the ones that are costing goals in this series.
Matthew Knies. Alternate shots over 3+, big plus money. You were talking about it before. You're like, maybe we get some Leaf shots, but then we're like, I don't know if these guys really are going to get a ton of stuff on the net. But there's one guy who kind of defies what the core 4 is. And hopefully he can change maybe their perspective going into these games. But Matthew Knies is just an absolute workhorse. And he can get these shots in a couple of ways because Matthews isn't burying. Matthews has to, he's passing. Like there's a lot to talk about 34, but positive, Matthew Knies, ton of shots last game, and
Mhm.
you like him to get some pucks on the net again here.
Yeah, I just think because of the role that he plays, right? He's a power forward. He's a guy that, digs pucks out of the corners. He's a guy that mucks it around the net. And I just feel like with the message that Berube is probably going to preach with these guys is, hey, get pucks on net, get pucks on net. Like, you're coming off of a goalie getting a shutout for you. You can't sit there and not shoot the puck.
Yeah.
You got to shoot the puck.
I like maybe some power play shots too from him because it was too cute in the last game. So get that puck kind of to the high danger chances, maybe that's where you find Knies in net front. Let's keep rolling here. Vegas, Minnesota. There's a lot going on in this series. This is still one of the hardest series to project, I think, on my end. Vegas minus 165 money line favorite, plus 140. Minnesota over under sitting at 5.5. I'm going to go Marco Rossi for a point at plus 180. Plus 185. That's a big price. And I'm going to go Kaprizov over 3.5 shots on goal, even money. Elimination style. Kaprizov at home. He's just going to play a buttload of minutes. That's kind of where that is, and they need him to shoot. Rossi's the interesting situation here because there were some line changes late in that game where he was centering Marcus Johansson and Kaprizov. So if they're trailing, they might go back to it, or they might even start it today. So there could be some closing line value on that Rossi, but can you see?
And it could be a game script too, right? Like if they're trailing, you're going to get more of your top players out.
100%. But do you see this going 7? Like Philip Gustafson, we don't even know if he's going to play. Like Pavel
What happened to him?
He left the game because of illness, and now he's just day to day.
Oh, wow. Yeah, he probably had the runs. I think he'll be fine.
But like, how sick would you have to be a goalie to be like, okay, no, Marc-Andre Fleury is probably the better option?
Well, I mean, how sick would you have to be if you can't get up off the toilet without feeling something coming out? Like you can't be in the net taking shots.
Yeah.
If that's happening. So it's a good question. I think this does go 7. Minnesota's played really good this series. They've showed a lot of fight. They probably should have won last game. It's a home game. I think they find a way, regardless of who's in net.
Dear Gustav Nyquist, how hard do you have to try in this game?
Yeah, you probably want to get one back. That's for sure.
Yeah. All right. But hopefully we'll wait for some lines, but we might not even see a skate, right? Like game 6, maybe just an optional skate here for Minnesota.
Yeah, maybe. I think at this time of year, or this point of the series, coach, at least if I was a coach, I'd be telling guys to save their energy. Like, you don't need to be wasting energy in the morning. Save it. Maybe do a bike ride, do a little quick warm up, get to the pregame meal, get your nap in, and bring it to the game tonight.
Pesky Sloth says, "Be a man, crap your pants, and get the win." That's a story.
Is that being a man though? Like, come on, like crapping your pants. It's not fun. I've done it many times. Not fun.
Pesky Sloth probably crapped his pants a few times, and he's what's that word? He's projecting. Yeah, man. Yeah, if peeing your pants is cool, consider me Miles and Davis.
Yeah.
Dallas. Yeah. Why am I dying? Why do I die so much? I've switched to the honey and tea, and it's still not working.
Buddy, it's the time of year, man. The time of year when the weather changes. Everybody's dry and stuffed up.
We have a men's slow pitch game today, which I'm not going to. So we might just forfeit the game if it's raining. Like, even if it's raining a little, we're like, nah, we're not doing it. Forfeit. Pay the umpire.
This is the day you actually like the weather, right?
Yeah, this is it. Like, I need it to come down a little harder. Let's go, Dallas, Colorado. Dallas plus 155. That's a pretty good price there. Minus 185 for the home side. Over under sitting at 6. Let's go. We're going Harley for a point here at even money. Now, Heiskanen is traveling with the team. He kind of rotated in on power play 1, power play 2, but he's not 100% healthy. You know who's healthy? Harley, who's playing giant minutes.
Unreal.
And maybe the best career path angle up, like straight line a player's had this entire year from getting the call to the Four Nations to where he is now.
Well, and think about a guy who's taking advantage of a huge opportunity, right? I've always been a believer that you should never lose your job because of an injury, but you can sure as hell gain a job because of an injury. And Thomas Harley has absolutely gained a job from an injury. You talked about the Four Nations, but what he's been able to do to his game and elevating into a top PP guy. Like when Heiskanen comes back, you're not taking Harley off of that right now if he's clicking.
Yeah, you put him on
right?
PP too, for sure.
Yeah. Hey, man, buy your time. Get yourself ready. You've been out for 2 months.
Exactly. You're not coming in playing 24 minutes out of the gate, right?
Yeah.
If you're Heiskanen,
I mean,
no.
it wouldn't be the smartest idea.
Yeah. Blackwood pulled in the last game. That's a talking point here, but Harley points in 4 of 5 games and getting big minutes on the road. So not a fan of I'm not a fan of Colorado at this price at all. I know the books absolutely love the Avalanche, but minus 185, no thanks. You're not getting any support from. I haven't seen Natchez on the score sheet. I haven't seen Brock Nelson on the score sheet. I haven't seen Val Nichushkin on the score sheet. It's been the Nate show, and there's only so many times that you can just kind of put the guys on your back. I mean, he's number 2, but I don't know. I like Dallas.
I talked about this morning. I don't think I've ever seen a team like the Colorado Avalanche make so many massive moves to their roster in the middle of a season.
Yeah.
Like 2 new goaltenders. You move out Rantanen, who was a top 10 player in the league in Colorado. You bring in Natchez. You bring in Charlie Coyle. You bring in Lindgren. You bring in Brock Nelson. And then you add Landeskog.
Yeah.
That's hard to find chemistry when you're introducing that many new faces.
And changing up the power play one too.
All those guys that have come from different places were comfortable in their roles in those other places, and now they're probably having a hard time getting comfortable in the role they're being asked to play here.
Grade A fantasy saying in 25 elimination games dating back to June 2022, McKinnon 5 shots on goal, 6 shots on goal, 7 shots on goal, 8 shots on goal. McKinnon shot on goal ladder is a fun sweat. And he's at home. That's the time to take it. He could be in that mode trying to save his team from elimination. But in that same point, plus 155 is a good price, just like Minnesota. Plus 140, not a bad price. Don't mind the Dogs today. And that includes the Leafs, sadly. But that's where we are with that game. We move on to the late game. Kings Edmonton, the most lopsided game 6, the most lopsided game of the playoffs in terms of expected metrics.
Game 6?
Yeah, game 6 was. Yeah, Edmonton.
No,
absolutely.
game 5 was. You mean?
Oh, sorry, game 5 was. Yeah, Edmonton absolutely dominated. Yeah.
That was a surprise to me, especially with LA being such a dominant home team that they would come in and have Edmonton just run them out of the rink.
But with that lineup and that goaltending, can you do that in back-to-back games? Honestly,
Edmonton?
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to believe, but you know what's real in playoffs? Momentum. Like that, Edmonton has some serious momentum right now. Calvin Pickard, 3 games in a row, 3 wins. McDavid, Draisaitl. Like there's a lot of players. Like even Bouchard, as much as we grilled him through the first 2 games, the guy's doing what he's got to do offensively.
If you were the editor of the Edmonton Sun on the front page, would the front page say Mo Edmonton?
Mo Edmonton? Oh, Momenton. Oh, wow.
Trying to squeeze that one in there.
Yes.
Mo
nice.
Edmonton. Yes.
Mo Edmonton. I like that.
That's it.
Yes.
That didn't roll off the tongue. That's for sure. Yeah, that's why I'm not an editor. I hand my things into other people. But yeah, Pickard saw 41 shots in the last game at home. So even in that home game, the Kings still got a ton of chances back in game 4. But two-way scored on the over. Let's go. I don't believe anything. Edmonton's offense can keep going. And yeah, I'm not a fan of Pickard. Like, it's not a situation where the defense still sucks. Like we were talking about it consistently. Defense still stinks. It's an elimination game, so you get that. You're getting the 6, not the 6.5, so there is a little room with that. Done? Is it done, I do lean Edmonton. I want this to go 7, but like you said, Edmonton is really on their side.
It's hard to beat teams 4 games in a row in the playoffs. And that's why I believe this will go 7.
Who reads newspapers? No, you don't read the newspaper. You just walk past it and see the headline. That's all you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not sitting there picking it up.
For real.
No, that's it. That's all they got. That's all they got. 4 games, big day. It's going to be interesting when I'm at the Leafs game today, or the Jays game today, watching the Leafs game on a monitor. And that's what I'm going to be doing.
Yikes.
And then watching the Jays game.
Okay, after 3 innings, you can leave the Jays game because it'll probably be over.
Hey, if you left early last night, you'd be in trouble there.
I know.
All right, that's everything we're rolling with today. I might be wearing sunglasses tomorrow. That's for sure. And don't ask why. Could be a long day. I'm in the city. It could be a while till I get back. But big day. Game 6. Please don't be Game 7. Please don't be Game 7. It probably will be. And 48%. That's kind of what we're saying on that. All the plays down there. I'll post them again. Thanks to everybody there in the chat. NHL Prop Picks presented by Sports Interaction. Sports Interaction has you covered on all these picks. Download the Sports Interaction app. Let's have a day, bud. Enjoy your Thursday. Go Leafs. Please win.
Let's go Leafs. Come on. If there is a God, give it to the Leaf fans.